Oh,
I'm a little tall here. What are you doing today?
I wonder if, other than I put it in our description, if people actually got our idea of what we were doing today with orange and black.
Yes. And I love your Yellowstone. That's like
Of course,
perfect.
Yellowstone went with it. All right. So trick-or-treaters came by on Saturday, our community. I just sat out there with a cowboy hat on and my thing on. And the one kid came by and he fell, and the kid stood up and he thought, because he seen me in the outfit, he thought I was his dad because his dad was standing on the other side, dressed the same way. And the mothers goes like, you guys just dress the same way. And I said, we don't call this Halloween dress up. We call this getting dressed.
Right. Oh, that's too cute. Too cute.
Anyway,
So,
our theme is orange and black, all right, and neither one of us know what the other brought. We had to be creative. We had to do something interesting. There was no cheating on this one.
kind of hard to cheat on orange and black.
There's so many options, and there's so many things that you could get lost in.
Yes. And orange is the new black. I
That
should have
too.
probably put on a jumpsuit, an orange jumpsuit.
Yeah. So,
But yes, I'm looking at the little black and then my orange. I was going, ooh, I think I'm going to wear that.
And I just reversed you.
Right.
So now today, all right, orange and black. I decided to go with a black food and an orange drink.
Okay.
All right. Which did you do? Did you have both and both?
So I had to go charcuterie because that was kind of fun because I already had the black, from last week.
Black olives.
And of course I had the cheese. I
Uh-huh.
already had the tomatoes. Then I bought blackberries because I've been craving some. And then I got I got the orange bell pepper. I sauteed veggies, so I pulled out the carrots.
Yeah.
The orange, because I'll show you what I did with orange. So I had the orange, so I had to throw that in there. And then of course I saw ding dong at the store and it's black, so I had to get the ding dong. And then because I normally would do like a ranch dressing for any of the veggies and stuff. But I did Thousand Island because that's orange and I love Thousand Island. So that's my colorful. Well, before I decided on that I said, oh, I have this stuff. I was thinking what foods to make. So I had my one food, but then I switched to the other, but I still made the first. So one of the recipes that I saw was a Cheetos chicken. So you get yes, it was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. So I had bought a box of the all the chips, and so I'm like, oh, I got Cheetos. So I crushed the puffy ones, and then I also crushed some of the flaming hot Cheetos because flaming hot Cheetos, come on. And I met the person that came up with that idea. So I crushed them together. I then added Parmesan to it, did the chicken in an egg wash, then, put the Cheetos on there and threw it in the oven and cooked it while I was cooking butternut squash. That is missing from here. I forgot the butternut squash, but that is another orange that I had. So it was going to be the chicken, the flaming hot Cheetos chicken, and the butternut squash. Well, I didn't know if I was going to like it enough for dinner. So what I made was orange chicken. Hence why I have the orange. So my flaming hot Cheetos chicken and Chinese orange chicken, they came out absolutely delicious. Did you know that you double fry this? You
No.
fry it once to cook it, and then you fry it a second time to get it crispy. Then once everything is then you put in your sauce that is absolutely delicious. Definitely having the orange zest in there made a huge difference to really get that orange flavor out. So 2 different colors of orange. This one, the flaming hot, kind of came out as I threw it in the microwave to reheat it. It was more of the red came out of it, but it was a more orangey. But it came out delicious. I was like, wow. But I had made the orange chicken, which was super yummy. And then so truly, this is what I would have had with the butternut squash. But since I had the other stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna make a little mini charcuterie board. What do you have?
Well, I decided to just do dessert, and I decided to make a thing we call dirt pudding.
Oh, nice. I love this. I'm gonna have to get a picture of your dirt. Let me hold on a moment.
Dirt
Let me
pudding consists of chocolate pudding. All right, it has cream cheese, whipped cream into it, powdered sugar. All right, and crushed up Oreos. And then
love
you add gummy worms. All right, and we stuck some black licorice and a couple of M&M stones on top of it. And as you see, it's mixed down in here, but the top has a crumpled layer of Oreos on top. But there
Okay.
are crumpled Oreos in here.
Nice.
Like 3 or 4 like store bags of Oreos in this thing. Like, right?
Gotta love it. Gotta
I
love it.
went intense with it because I remember having it many years ago, and I thought it's a dessert. And we have tons of it for the rest of the week, right? I'm not going to eat all this. Trust me, this is too sweet.
Okay. I was gonna say, man, you'd be wired for hours.
But then I went with the drink, and the reason why last week, if you remember me saying I was going to do a certain drink, but I didn't because I wanted to bring it in this week because it was orange.
Yeah, I thought it would have been Dr. Pepper as black.
You thought I was going to go there. I didn't. This one here has orange soda, pineapple juice, right? Now, the 2 things I didn't add in because I added that in, mixed it up with some ice cubes in my little mason jar, and I'm going to add in here some orange sherbet.
Oh, to give it that creaminess.
Yep. And then when I go to pour it in my cups, I have some separate ice to pour it in my cups, and I have 2 different ways I'm going to do it. One with some Blue Chair Bay spiced rum, and the other one with some Parrot Bay coconut rum.
Oh, yum! Very tropical. I
So
love
it's
that.
called a witch's brew. All right, and it's like a rum punch, but it's done with the soda. All right, and pineapple juice as opposed to like a Kool-Aid.
Right. Oh, I love that. I love that. I almost went with something somewhat similar, but I didn't have the chance to make it where it was the orange juice with pineapple juice and then you add heavy cream to it. And then you freeze it. You then add it to you add it to a glass and then you add the sparkling. So it's almost like a Bellini, only it's more creamy. So I guess it's more creamsicle, which I thought was kind of fun. But the other one that I thought, oh, I'm going to do instead is a champagne dream, which has pomegranate juice, Grand Marnier, orange juice, because I made fresh orange juice, so I have it in here.
Yeah.
And then, of course, your sparkling. But the first one that I had seen before that one was it was supposed to, I ended up finding a black Sapporo, which I left it in the fridge, but originally it was supposed to be Guinness Stout and you top it off with sparkling. So I thought I wanted to stay on the sparkling side, hence why I'm like, I had the little split already, and I already had the Guinness. I didn't remember if I had Guinness or not. So when I saw the Sapporo Black, I went, oh, but that would go so much better with sake, but I figured stout and the sparkling, and then the other one, the champagne dream. That way I got both colors, but sticking to the one consistent, which was the sparkling. So that's what I came up with. So
and of course I have little clementines to attach to it.
Nice. You gotta have the fun stuff like that. I'm gonna put that one in here, and I'm gonna do the other one in here. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna.
I wouldn't be remiss if I didn't just taste some of the sherbet.
Okay, of course, you gotta have sherbet. That is really cool. But there was
I'm going to be on sugar overload from what I have tonight.
Right? Well, there was another one that was the Undertaker, which is black. Yeah. And that one also kind of, because that one has vodka, Kahlua, the simple mints, and chilled espresso. So 4 things. and it's black. So the Kahlua helps get that black color with the coffee. But that one was kind of a fun one that I thought, ooh, that one might be fun. So I may end up doing that instead of the Guinness. Depends on how much sparkling I have. That I'll go from there. But yeah, this one was difficult. There were so many options that I'm like, well, which way do I go? It's like it all sounds so good.
Yeah.
So there are a lot more options that I'm going to be thinking about trying. So that'll be kind of fun.
Much better with the coconut rum, just saying.
Okay.
I already tested that out.
Okay. And some of these, it was quite interesting because as I was doing all this, I was trying to figure out how to get a black drink. And some of it was food coloring, of course. I didn't want to do food coloring. Then you had squid ink, which is black, but it just, anything that it touches, it's stained forever. The other thing I found out, which was kind of cool, is you can infuse vodka with black rice. And it only takes 1 day to turn your vodka black with black rice. And the other cool thing is that I'm like, oh, that'd be nice to have a black rice with the sushi, so you can have black sushi. So there was a lot of stuff that I'm like, oh, this is too cool. This is way too cool. So many ideas on that. So let me get the first drink made. And then, of course, me being me, of course, I have tons of information on the colors. Oh my goodness, that smells so good. The Grand Marnier smells just so yummy. And then I have the orange juice, which hopefully I don't spill. And of course I spilled. I knew I was going to spill because that's what happens when you don't have, when you have all the stuff. All right. Here's mine. Okay. Stay there. I'm going to shake, shake, shake. So I'm going to mute myself because I'm going to be loud.
This is just a fun way to liven up your parties. Be creative. As we said last week, you be creative when you come up with ideas. It'll make people, let's face it, you bring this to a party, you're going to be the talk, right?
Yes, absolutely.
1 million people may bring something like this. This truth, really, but they won't think that they will never know that I did it with a soda and not an orange drink. Like, it's so easy to do this with pineapple juice and like orange tang or orange juice. No one would ever suspect. And I actually used a real sugar soda, not the, it's we call it Mexican sodas down here, that they're made in Mexico. They're made with real sugar, and that's what I made it with. So it's got no really artificial taste to it. And then I have real pineapple juice that I put into it. I didn't start preparing my stuff till about 5 o'clock my time today. So a lot of stuff didn't, like my what's called dirt pudding didn't chill. It should have chilled for 2 hours. And I should have done it last night and had it sitting there overnight. It would have been really, really a lot better, a lot harder. All right. But I was improvising. This drink I was able to make in 5 minutes. You literally you put the two ingredients in, you add ice. Right? Before I added the sherbet, I just stirred it. Okay. And then I waited to put the sherbet in until we went live, because I didn't want the sherbet to be all melted in the drink.
Right.
And which, if you went to a party, you'd have a lot more ice into it. You'd put a container, you'd make it in a bowl, you'd put a container of sherbet into it in pieces, and then you'd have the ice cubes into it, and it would add to the taste. And then the last thing you put in is the rum. So, or you would have a kiddie version of it without the rum.
There was a few that I found that were no alcohol in them, or you can just add the alcohol.
So this one here was a recipe without alcohol, but it did say make it an adult by adding rum. And I went over today and see my guy at my liquor store, and I just basically said, I think I want a coconut rum, and we went through all the coconut rums. let me tell you, Malibu has more coconut rums on the shelf than anybody. And I am not a Malibu rum guy because Malibu rum it's a diluted down party drink, is what, in my opinion. I'm not picking up Malibu rum. I wanted a good rum into it. I've had Blue Chair and a couple other versions. All right. And I have had Parrot Bay as well. Parrot Bay rum by itself is pretty good. So, yeah, it's pretty good all by itself. But I didn't want to buy big bottles of it because I know, especially coconut rum. Coconut rum is going to sit on my shelf for months before I drink it again. Spiced rum, I have a regular white rum in there, and spiced rum, I'd drink that in a matter of a week with some sort of drink. But that's the thing, when we were doing something to test this with, we're not looking to stock our bar with something we're not going to drink for the next few years.
Right.
You know. Anyway.
So Good and the Simple is who I got the Cheetos chicken from. Of course, I made it slightly different than the recipe called for, as I always do, because that's what I do. So with my orange chicken, it was a video that Jasmine and T had made, and she's Asian and she grew up eating this food that her mama had made. And so then I went to look for other recipes, and I found one under Modern Honey blog. So that's where I got the recipe. But of course, I did a little bit of what Jasmine and T said, but then I also did my own thing. And so one of the things is that that double frying was one, although Modern Honey blog did say repeat, but she didn't explain why, whereas Jasmine and T explained why.
Yeah.
The other thing was that what Jasmine and T did is that she, after she cut the chicken, she added the egg white, mixed it, and then she said equal parts of flour, equal parts cornstarch. Whereas Modern Honey blog, she was doing the egg wash, and then so it was like the one and then the other. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to follow what the Asian chick says because she grew up eating this stuff. She grew up making this stuff. I'm going to follow that. So that's what I did. I did the egg, and then I did the equal parts flour, equal parts cornstarch, and then just mixed it all together and then cooked it. I fried it in batches. But the it came out really good. I mean, I got a lot of, oh my goodness, this is so good. Love this. And then the Cheetos chicken, of course, I only made a couple of chicken thighs because again, I didn't know. So I made like 6 nugget sized pieces. They were all about this size. And it was like, oh my goodness, that smells really good. And of course they're tasting it. It's like, oh, this is delicious. I said, yeah, you can't have it. That's for the podcast. There was only, you can have a half a piece. Y'all, could share a piece, but I'm taking the rest with me.
Yeah. And now it's funny because usually, I mean, I went away from what I normally would do because usually I would go with Orange Foods, which is I love, and I do mean love, a buffalo chicken, a buffalo sauce. So I could have very easily taken any chicken and a buffalo sauce and made an orange colored chicken, right? I could have very easily done a Cajun blackened type chicken and then put orange sauce, or maybe my buffalo sauce on it. But I mean, to me, it was like I got to show off creativeness. All right. You want to be creative in a way that what I mean. You're going to be the talk of the party.
Right.
All right. Now, Gladys, how many times have you been when you go to a party and you take the dish or the drink that is the talk of the party?
Oh yeah, I do it all the time. I'm usually a little different. Oh my goodness, the best guac ever. It's because I made it fresh, Yeah. But other times it's, oh my goodness, this is delicious. What is it? It's Cheetos chicken, This is something new. I will make Cheetos chicken again.
Yeah. No. I had a friend who lived in Santa Barbara. Right. I think you may know her too. Her name is Melanie. And I remember years ago, I went to Melanie's house with her family one night. And Melanie was always in simple recipes. Like everybody she said she would cook something and people would go, oh, it's so good. Where's the recipe? She says, I put it in the pan and I put salt and pepper on it.
Right.
And she did a salmon that way that I have yet to match. I've tried it so many times. I mean, it was just a fried salt and salmon, another orange.
Actually, I almost got some lox because that was my other thought, do
Mhm,
some lox or a blackened salmon
mhm, mhm.
because the outside would be black. Well, as black as depends on what you put on there, but a lot of pepper.
Not pepper, yeah,
I
yeah.
dip it in pepper. And then the orange on the inside. But I opted not to. I was like going, okay, I'm just gonna go with what I have. And knowing that I was gonna make either the Cheetos chicken or the orange chicken, I just opted, don't even worry about it. But I was planning on making the one meal, but then when I made the other, I'm like, well, I'm just making it. So hence why I have the orange juice, because the orange juice that I made went into the orange chicken. And
Mhm.
then of course my big orange, I zested the skin of it, and that made such a huge difference. And sometimes it's those little things that you do that are a little different that, yeah, when you take it to a potluck or, to a dinner, it's like, oh my goodness, what is so special about this? Why is it delicious? Um, and it's like, well, you just do something different, no matter what the recipe is, I'm going to make it my own. I'm going to substitute. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm just going to, because I'm used to doing things a certain way. It's like, do I really want to do it that way? It's like, no, I'm going to do it this way, but you got to play with it and have fun.
Okay. Well, some of the things that I've done over the years, I've always had a dessert that I've done. There's always been something to treat people with, and that is usually a pudding.
Mm.
I usually do a pudding, sour cream, all right, pistachios.
Okay.
Uh, Sometimes I put some grapes or you know what I mean, fruits into it.
Mhm.
Kind of like what do they call like an ambrosia, but not quite.
Okay.
I've put similar to that, and I had one that was a recipe I did all the time, and it was so simple to do. And everybody was always like, "Oh, this is so good!" And then they'd go home and try to make it, and they'd always screw it up and go, "Well, what was the difference?" And they would make it with the pudding and whipped cream, not pudding and sour cream.
Mhm.
The sour cream made a difference. Now this here has the dessert has cream cheese into it. So
Oh,
cream cheese, whipped cream put together is just a little bit different in taste to give you a little abrasiveness.
yeah, I was going to say it's a little bit thicker, so you don't get that same fluffiness.
Mhm.
And so there's more substance to it. It's not as airy.
Mm.
Well,
It's also fun
as
to
I,
watch it go in the mixer in the beginning, and then turn into a light whip.
right. Mm. And one of the things with orange bell peppers, they have a sweeter consistency
Mhm,
than your green.
mhm.
Your green are a little bit more in your face. The orange and the red and the yellow, they're more mellow. They're easier to eat on and easier to munch on. I love that. So as I was going through and I was looking for, well, besides orange and black, there's a lot to orange and black. I was like, okay, the meaning of orange, the meaning of black.
Mhm.
So there's a psychology, and I'm sure some people know that, sometimes when you answer those questions on Facebook that pop up and they're like, oh, pick a color and pick, which one do you prefer, this or this? And so then they come up with something that's very unique, and that's because it's the psychology of colors. And orange is a strong, energetic color. So when somebody's trying to study, orange is not the greatest color to be around, because it's like I want to just go out and do, not I want to sit and think. It's very energizing, as is red. So yellow, red, orange. It's very attention grabbing, and that's why it's used a lot in advertising. And so it's bright, happy, uplifting, um, but it could also be overwhelming to some people because this, bright color. And so there's also the cultural differences with certain colors. So one of the things that I thought about was, for me, and I love orange. I love orange, especially like a burnt orange. I just think it's the most beautiful color, and it's part of fall. So I think fall and just those golden hues, and so the orange and yellows and reds. I love that. But if you
A pumpkin
notice
spice, maybe?
that too, that I liked orange before the PSL
Yeah.
hashtag PSL. But with here in the U.S., a lot of times orange are uniforms in prisons. And so the show Orange is the New Black, I actually watched a little bit of that.
I've never watched it yet. Yeah, but yeah.
I got cut. I was like, I'm done with it. It got a little too weird for me, but it was Orange is the New Black. But also, in other countries, it's considered royalty or spirituality. For me, Orange, I think Caltrans, California Department of Transportation. And I remember when I was in high school, a lot of course, football season, schools would go to different schools. Well, this school comes in with their orange uniforms as they come through and they're going through, and it's like right in the middle of the school. We had this big tunnel. You had to go through the tunnel to get to the football. And I'm like going, Caltrans was the first thing that I thought of. And of course, it came out of my mouth and everybody looked at me and I'm like, they look like Caltrans workers, because it was full on orange overall. Orange so that they could be seen when they were out working on the roads. So that's what orange means to me, besides me liking the color. But a lot of teams also use orange. My college colors when I got my master's was orange and green. But what truly goes together is orange and blue. Those are two colors that go very well together, is orange and blue.
If you remember, my other podcast was orange and blue were our colors.
So it's like attention grabbing. Again, it's very visually appealing. And orange is also spiritual. It's always also associated with meditation and compassion. And in Southeast Asia, Buddhist monks wear orange robes that symbolize simplicity and letting go of materialism. And so that dates back to the time of Buddha. So orange has been around a long time, and it's also, of course, during this time of year, it's associated with the holidays. It could be Thanksgiving, it could be Halloween, and it's because of the autumn colors and the time of year, and it's very abundant in nature. Now, black, on the other hand, it all depends. Black has gone through many changes in the past 50 to 100 years. The connotation of black, there's been a lot of different thoughts. It used to mean death. People would wear black to mourn. I remember watching, after I read the book, Gone with the Wind, I then saw the movie, but it was like she was in black. And then she was given this gorgeous bright dress and she goes, oh, what a shame it's going to be dyed in black. And it's like, no, you don't dye because she was still in mourning. And it's like, I will wear black for a certain amount of time. So it used to be grief. But now it's more of a fashion staple. People want to be in black. It makes me look thinner. It makes me look sexier. It makes me look more sophisticated. But it all depends on how people look at black, because black can also be seen as evil. It can be seen as dark. We can't see at night. Therefore, we associate the blackness of night with things that could go wrong, and robbers that are wearing black ski mask and black clothing and black gloves, mister. So there's a lot of things that can be seen from black. But it also can be very positive qualities, such as authority, elegance, formality, power, prestige. So colors can make a difference in how they're perceived. So it can be either good or bad. But then when you look at feng shui, it can be very good if you put black in things that are north or east or southeast facing. Even choosing a kid's room, putting black, at least one of the walls or the door, it can be very calming. On the north side of the house, if you have an office, paint one wall black, maybe the floor black. And the other quite interesting is using black and white in laundry rooms and kitchens. And I when I read that, I thought that's interesting, because when I've seen some of the fixer uppers or whatever shows, they do a lot of black and white in kitchens, and bathrooms too, but I think I've seen it more in kitchens. So that was quite interesting, in using black accessories as knickknack frames. And yes, I have frames I have that one that's black. this one that's black, and that one that's black. So of my four frames,
frames on the shelves are black.
yeah. So again, elegance. So it was quite interesting to see the good and the bad in both the association of orange and black, but how black has been the most transformational over the years, which is kind of cool. It was kind of neat of going, ooh, so now you have a whole history of the psychology of black and orange.
Black and orange. So and I'll tell you, the black, now the reason I had these gloves on is because I was worried about getting my hand here. But anyway, it's because I was going to handle sherbet. And I've had sherbet fall before when I was trying to do it. And I didn't want to have to sit here for an hour with sticky hands. But these are my gloves I use for doing barbecue. They're the cooking like gloves, but they're made for cooking, and they're very durable to be able to do my stuff like that, and not get my hands are dirty, but also not put my personal dirt into grease into the food. Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is what I noticed here in Oregon, a lot of the oil change places or mechanics,
yeah,
they wear black gloves.
Yeah.
And they change their gloves between vehicles. That was interesting. I don't know if it was a COVID thing or if they were already doing it, but I've noticed the black gloves, and it's like, oh, because a lot of times you pull in to get the oil change, and that's where I started noticing a lot more. So the stout with the sparkling or the brute, it's called a black velvet.
A black velvet.
Black velvet, yeah.
So the gummy worms or snakes, they're really kind of gummy.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of chewing going on there.
The great thing about this Cheetos chicken, even when it cools down, the outside maintains its crispiness, and it's still juicy and easy to eat. A lot of times when food gets cold, I don't like it. This actually holds its own. So, and yesterday after I made it, I actually had cooled it down before I took another bite. Well, I had been munching on it. But today I microwaved it, and it still has some crunch. It still has that, nice flavor. So I really like that. That was a winner there. And I did use chicken thighs, not breast. Chicken breast, I think it'd be dry as can be if I hadn't, when you throw it in the microwave.
Growing up, I was the guy who, when it came to chicken, I liked the dark meat. And I still like the dark meat better. However, if we cook a full bird or even a full Cornish hen at our house, there is a fight to see who can get both wins, me or my mother. So you know where I got it from, first of all. But I love the wing.
I do too. My mama did too.
Yeah. So anyway. So very, very interesting ideas this week. All right. We didn't have this. This is what the calendar says for us to do. We just kind of threw an idea out there and said, let's get creative. So,
and I think it was going to be difficult, and it was difficult deciding what to do, because there was once I started to find things that were not requiring me to dye black, I started finding stuff, and I went, oh my goodness, this is kind of cool. It's a lot of fun. Do I want black? Do I want orange? And I'm like, orange is the new black. It kept going through my head. It was just fun. I found this, and I'm going to make it. It's this Cornish game hen recipe that has sauce on it.
Yeah.
So I was like going, oh, that seems kind of cool. One, I don't know that I could find apricots, but number two, I was like going, that's going to be a little bit more work, and I don't know that I want to do that. So I said, I'm going to skip that one for now, because Cornish game hens, they're very much delicate. And once you make them, you got to eat them. I don't know that I've ever had leftover, because I don't know that it would hold as well as chicken would.
Well, whenever I cook anything like that, or whatnot, After I'm done eating the original meal, I like to pull all the meat off the bone, put it into a container, and chop it up. No matter what I'm going to do with it, that's what I don't try to take it and try to eat the breast or something like that. No, pull it off and mix it all up. As a matter of fact, we had a whole chicken and we had a couple pieces finished the other day. And yesterday I pulled them off and I made a sandwich out of one piece, out of some of it, but the rest of it, I pulled all the rest of the stuff off the bone, chopped it up, and I put it in a container in the freezer. And Gwen's like, "Why are you doing that?" I said, "Because I can pull it out of the freezer. I can microwave it for a minute, 30 seconds, and then I can make something out of it. I can make a chicken salad out of it because it's thawed and ready to go. And the meat's already cooked, so I don't need to cook it again. I just need to warm it up and get that ice out of, get it unfrozen. But
Very nice.
yeah, you got to think with it. That's what I do with all my poultry type stuff.
You gotta play with it, make it see what you can do to save certain things. You gotta save your the food. That's the best way to go with a lot of different things. What I opted to do is I'm gonna make the Undertaker because I had not had a ding dong in forever and a day. I mean, it's been forever and a day. So I thought, well, I need a dessert drink for a dessert food. So I'm going to make the Undertaker. Now the vanilla, it's a whipped cream, not a vanilla vodka, but that's going to add the sweetness to this because it is black coffee. So I'm going to, I guess the last time I opened it, it's been a while. It is shut. Oh, wow. Okay, let me see if I can get this to unscrew because it is, it got, oh, there it goes. Ooh, all the sugars got on there. So this one is 3 ounces. So I'm going to use the other side. So I just count the 3 in here. And this is one that I have not made any drink since the last drink that I made for the podcast. Not just the last drink that I made, but for the podcast. So vanilla, whipped cream. There's another one that is also on the sweet side. And then you do some Kahlua. And I happen to have all this. That's why I'm doing this, just because I have it. Sometimes I'll make a drink based on what do I have? What can I make? Oh my goodness, the smell of Kahlua. And I don't use it very often. Hence a little one. I think it's right there. This is the line of the Kahlua. I think I used it one time and it was 1 ounce. So now I've used a whopping 2 ounces of Kahlua. Of course, it calls for creme de menthe, which I'm not using. So I'm going to be using the Rumple Mints, which is the next, again, I'm going to be very careful on that one. I don't think I'm going to put the full ounce that it calls for. And then it calls for 1 ounce of chilled espresso, which I'm kind of going, I don't know if I did a whole ounce there, but I wanted something different. And this is decaf. So I definitely did not want to do regular coffee. That's why I very seldom make coffee drinks because it's so late and then I'll be up all night because I don't need the caffeine. But I'm going to try with decaf and hopefully I'm not up all night. And if I am up all night, I'll probably be working. So let's hope that doesn't.
Yeah. That's me lately. If I'm up, I just come in the office and work. Mm-hmm. Shake, 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 shake.
I love the sound of the shake. That is always kind of fun. So that one's going to go in here. And it's not as black as I wanted it to be. I almost used 2 little packets of instant decaf. It's more brown than black, but oh, it tastes very chocolatey.
Really?
I think that the Rimple Mints, because of that minty between that and the whip, it gave it this kind of chocolatey flavor, sweetness to it. So now I'm going to break into the ding dong. Mm. Oh my goodness. I had not have a ding dong in decades.
And still good.
Oh my goodness. The mintiness of the rumpled mint comes out with it, because there is, yeah, sorry, I messed it up. There's white on the inside, white, with the chocolate and the filling, the mint, like, boom, came right out. But I did leave a bite of the Cheeto that I wanted to try with this to see how I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much. The mint overpowered. So it went well with the dessert, but not so well with the chicken. And I don't think it's going to go well with the orange. I think the other one with the sparkling and the orange and the pomegranate, the Grand Marnier, all those flavors paired beautifully with both the Cheeto chicken and the orange chicken. This one, the coffee one, not as much. But that one definitely I would drink as a dessert. It overpowers my chicken.
Does it? Yeah, that's one thing I don't like when I do a drink. If it overpowers my food, I don't like it. It's supposed to complement my food,
Right.
right? And I've had nights where I know that I know the alcohol is going to overpower my food, so I won't.
This was the leftover of my last drink.
Yeah.
It melted the ice, so it's watered down. But at least it's not overpowering my my drink.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make another one, because why the heck not? Since I
Sure.
have here.
Because you have alcohol, you might as well use it. It's just like I poured more of my little juice and finished off this Parrot Bay coconut rum,
Okay.
which I really have to say that, what I mean? I could have bought a full bottle of this coconut rum because it goes really well in the drink.
Yeah, that's a good option to do that.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna make again. I'm gonna make the previous one that I really like, because that one tasted good. The coffee one was good. I don't know if I would have liked the black velvet one, but this champagne dream was super yummy. And I'm gonna pour this in here because I'm not gonna finish that. And we're gonna make another champagne dream, because not. Although it was a little bit more a little bit more red than orange, and I think that the Grand Marnier helped. It didn't make it as oh, I don't have enough for it. Well, I'm gonna add a little bit more orange juice to it than it calls for, and it is what it is. So hopefully I don't make as much of a mess as I did a moment ago. So I'm gonna add more orange juice this time, because it is a champagne dream. So, what did you like how it paired the most?
With what I have, because I only have one dish for food, but I really think that this actually I tried it 3 different ways. My drink was by itself, which is pretty darn good by itself. I added spiced rum to one, and I added coconut rum to the other. The coconut rum tastes better. Yeah.
Yeah, I think with that, because it's so refreshing, that I think that's what made it, that much better. So. And then top it off.
And I finished 2 glasses of it with, and I finished it alone.
Okay.
So it's got to be a good night.
I don't know. I got hints of pineapple on this one.
Yeah.
I think because there was less Grand Marnier in there. So a little bit on the fruity side, but not overly sweet. I can hang with this. And I think this was a fun one. The black and the orange theme.
Just goes to show you can be creative, even when you don't think you can be creative.
Yeah, I thought this one was going to be hard. It's like, but it was hard trying to determine what I was going to do. The food was killing me because I was like, I didn't want to just do orange, and I knew I had the black olives, which from last week, I knew I was going to bring those in for this week because I'm like, they're black olives. Hello, I have to go with black.
You could have went black olives on the charcuterie board. Very easy. Black olives. Could have almost got away with some roast beef maybe on there, but you can do. There's several cheeses that have an orange tint.
Oh yes, I did put cheddar in here.
Yeah.
So I had sliced Tillamook cheddar, so that one was a good one to. I didn't realize it was here at the office, and when I opened the fridge, I was like, oh, I got orange cheddar, so I'm going to be putting that in there. So again, everything that I already had
next to it. Yeah, I mean, it makes it very. There's a lot of orange you can put to a charcuterie board, real easy. And you basically could do a whole wheat cracker that looks black.
That's right.
Yeah.
Black sesame seeds is another one that you can use to sprinkle on, that I could have thrown on top of the orange chicken just to give it the black in with the orange.
Yep.
So
all kinds of creative ideas we can do. So anyway.
But this is great. This was fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad we did this.
And just think, you know what I mean? The people who can join our creativity, if they just come to During the Insider Club.
I know. Did you know about the Insiders Club, y'all? Make sure you go to likethewayyoudrink.com, join the Insiders Club. There is no cost to you. It is free to join. There's a lot of things that we're going to be doing. Some are going to be absolutely free to you. Other times you might want to attend an event. Maybe we're doing a tasting. Maybe we're barreling another rye whiskey. Maybe we're getting together to do an event like the Greek festival. You never know. We will guide you. We will be your guides either in Oregon or Texas for the most part. But it's free to you. What's going to cost you money is your transportation. Sorry, we can't cover you there.
Your alcohol. We're not going to pay for your alcohol.
Right, because you just might, we might be able to.
The loan payments we have on our house for the 2 of our alcohol is enough.
True story on that, y'all. But join the Insiders Club. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff that is coming. I don't know if I mentioned last time, but the gin is being bottled. Has already been bottled. We got to work on the label that's going to go on there. Yes, it is our own personalized label. The whiskey should be bottled around either December or January. And the rye, that one needs to sit a little longer. So it's going to be at least another 8 months or so. It'll be 4 to 6 months before I can taste it. And then probably another 8 months before it gets bottled. So that's going to be coming. Y'all that are in the Insiders Club, you'll have first dibs on those bottles. So join likethewayyoudrink.com.
Yep.
For free. And you must be.
There we go.
Thank you.
There's a button on the page for the Insiders Club. I'm working on tweaking the website, so we'll be higher up in the next week.
Perfect.
That being said, I mean, it's that time of the hour where basically we get to tell about the businesses that support this thing, other than the drinks that support us.
That's right. And a lot of times we have this stuff in our cupboard. Other times we go out and buy it because we're being creative. This time it was the black Sapporo that I ended up getting because that's what I didn't have, not realizing, yes, I had Guinness in my drawer both at home and at the office. But I am Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design. You can go to insurancedesignpros.com. If you have a business and you're deciding, can I afford employee benefits? Well, look at it this way. How could you not afford it? You're going to spend the money. If you want to attract and retain quality staff, give me a call. Let's have a conversation on what that looks like. It can go from free to a lot of money and everything in between. Traditional benefits, wellness, convenience. So there's a lot of ways that you can show your staff how much you care. That's insurancedesignpros.com. Gladys Boutwell will be in touch. And this is my co-host.
Hey guys, Tim Gillette and my company is the other half of us together. This is a true simple, easy website. I've got the trademark on the name, Simple Easy Marketing, and we decided to build a done-for-you division this year, and it's called Simple Easy Website. We design, we host your websites, we take care of it so you don't have to. I like to say, if your website's not making money, we can fix it. Just saying.
That's what he's there for. Reach out.
Other than that, all right, it's been a good week. We'll be back next week with something new, different. Maybe fall. I don't know.
But it will be yummy. It'll be different. It'll be interesting.
It will. It will. So I'm Tim Gillette. We're out of here, and you are?
Gladys Boutwell. Bye, y'all.
All right, guys. Cheers.